Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back for another race of Gran Turismo Sport. We're at Sarthe today in the Manufacturers Series. We're representing the BMW crew and we are racing the M6 that you're about to see in 4th place, which is where we qualified. So that is us there, the M6 GT3. I absolutely love this car, but lacks a little bit of power on this track, which was unexpected. But it is a great car. It's great handling for its size, and it does have a fair amount of acceleration. So it's not a bad track for this car. But I'll just show you the top 10 here. This next car rounds out the top 10. HDT boy. As we're about to get underway. So yeah, this is Sarthe. It's quite a long track. We're looking at 4-minute laps. So yeah, this will be a bit of a highlighted version, because as you'll notice, this race, it's a bit of a lonely old race for me. After about the first 2 laps, I'm guessing. But anyway, let's just sit back and enjoy this one. There's a chase down the, what have we got? We've got a GT3. We've got a Nissan GTR in the front, a Nissan GTR in P2, and that Mustang in front of us in 3rd place. And the GTRs are seriously quick around this track. They've got a huge amount of power, and straight line speed is their bread and butter really. As we just hook onto the back of this Mustang, we've got a better exit, and as a result we'll just slipstream past him as we come up to the first chicane on the main straight. But yeah, these cars in 1st and 2nd, they're just absolute powerhouses. Really hard to catch even when you are in their slipstream. As you see, we gained a fair bit of room on that Mustang, but he's just really ballsed up that entrance into that hairpin, and as a result he's just turfed us off the back. And at the time I was absolutely ropeable. He's picked up back into 6th place, so he's in front of us at the moment. We've dropped back to 8th place, but I was absolutely furious at the way he's approached that first chicane there. As we now have to tuck in behind this Porsche as we get into his stream, coming into the 2nd chicane, and he's just lost it there for really no reason at all. He's just put himself in harm's way as we chase down our nemesis STI boy in 6th place. And I've got to admit, right now I was really thinking about just turfing him off the track when I do finally catch him. He was going to feel my wrath. There's a car in the sand there, so we pick up another spot, but we've got this 1 second penalty to pay, and it will be interesting to see if we do lose 6th place here. There is a bit of a gap there, but 1 second is quite a sizable penalty. But we haven't quite caught STI boy. We're not quite in his slipstream either. And he is in the Mustang, so he does have a fair amount of power himself. As we get ready to serve this penalty. Down into 1st, and penalty served. Do we hang on to this position? We can see the 8th place car closing down on us really quickly, so yes we do. Sorry, that was the 7th place car. So he's moved up into 6th and we're now down into 7th as a result of getting turfed off the track. No fault of our own at all, and for whatever reason Gran Turismo feels that I'm the one that should have been penalised there, which is absolutely ludicrous. The penalty system in this game absolutely sucks. I'm saying it right now. There's so many races that do have an S class that they shouldn't even have an A class. They should be a B class. It's ridiculous. And this is an S class race, and you just get dealt with crap. Anyway, that's enough grovelling. As we finish the first lap, 4.5 minutes almost, and we're still chasing STI boy, and I still was in the mood for giving him a good old punt off the track. Speaking of tracks, this is quite an interesting one. You do have some very intricate systems or parts of the track, as we're going to cop another penalty there. So there are parts of this track that are quite technical, but then you get these massive long straights where you really need to be in the toe to capitalise, or in a slipstream of a car to capitalise on. If you're not in a slipstream of a fast car, you're generally losing a bit of time. But the most important thing is getting a nice slow entry into these sort of sections and then powering out as hard as possible. If you get on the power as soon as possible, you're gonna, as we serve another bloody penalty, then you know you're running at maximum speed, which is really important. As we see the two cars in front of us, 4th and 5th place, having a serious battle going on. There's collision into the barrier there, as STI boy again is being a complete knob. And as a result, the 5th place car has done exactly what I wanted to do. Thanks very much. And he's put him into the dirt. Now, I don't condone dirty racing or anything like that, but STI in 7th place now, he had that coming. And hats off to this Mercedes. I'm going to overtake him quite easily, but he did my job for me, which is fantastic. I was at this point hoping to God that he was going to be a clean racer with me, because he could have quite easily just punted me off at that section there, but he's done the right thing. He's got a penalty to serve. He's not a dirty racer in my mind. He's just had enough of the crap that the 7th place car was dealing him. As we come through a really fast section of the track here, down to quite a slow section, you just want to knock it into 5th, hug that corner, hug that curb on your right, down into 2nd, curb on your left, and then power out. That was a decent example of how to do that. First, hug the corner and power out. As soon as humanly possible, you want to be gaining speed on these long straights. As we are under attack, 5th and 6th are on our tail, but we are pulling away. We've got a good exit. And it helps that those two cars are also doing battle. Ultimately, if you are battling another car, you're generally just losing time. So you either wait for a great part of the track to get a move done, or you battle away. But the quicker you can get an overtaking manoeuvre done, you know, obviously the better off you are. So this is one of the real technical parts of the track. We're running almost top speed, high 5th gear, down into 2nd, up onto both of those curbs, and then we're down into 1st. And then trying to get traction on the way out. So we put in a 405. I know the real good racers are putting in 4-minute lap times on races. As we just skip ahead, like I said, this is a really long race, really long straights, and I spend a lot of this race for the next maybe 4 laps really just out on my own. It's really lonely, to be honest with you. The third place car, Air Down, he's in a Nissan GTR. He's 7 seconds ahead, 7.1 seconds ahead. He's the man that we're chasing, and we get into an interesting battle with that guy pretty reasonably shortly, and it's all to do with pit stop strategies. I'm sitting on these medium tyres and they're feeling really good. They're great. I'm hitting almost every apex. They're keeping traction as I accelerate out of corners. So I'm feeling really good on these tyres. And I'm already thinking that I only want to do 1 lap on the hards. You know, there's not a huge amount of grip issue of this track, but you can lose time through these technical sections when you are on the harder compounds, which is just a strange quirk of GT sport. So through these technical sections, the medium tyre is really superior to the hards. So we're going to stay on them. It's only lap 3 as we come down through the 2 final chicanes, and we're down to a 6.5 second lead the car in P3 has on us. So we are eating into his lead, despite the fact that he's in the GTR, which is way quicker on the straights. Which is surprising. The M6 is considered a power car, but the Mustang and the GTR was surprisingly amazing compared to myself. As we head into the main straight again, and I believe we jump ahead in the action, or do we? We're on lap 4, and Air Down in 3rd place has a 6.3 second lead on us. 6.4 second. He is actually building a margin. But very interestingly, again back to the tyres, they still feel about as quick as I'm going to get on this track. I've got to point out that I had literally 0 preparation. I shouldn't say 0, I did 2 or 3 laps, and that was my warm-up straight into the race. As we see the 1st and 2nd place cars coming in and pit stopping, and as a result I think the 3rd place car, Air Down, he will also make a pit stop too. You see he's just pulled in. So I'm now on the quicker tyre, and I want to get another 2 laps out of these. So my focus now is just to be as fast as possible and build a gap between myself and Air Down, he's dropped down into 8th place, actually 9th place. Sorry, make that 6th place. So he has traffic. There is traffic between myself and him. So I might be able to build a bit of a gap here, and then we'll see where we meet on the last lap after my pit stop. But for all intentions and purposes, I've now, my main goal is just to come out ahead on the final lap, and myself and Air Down will potentially be racing for 3rd place. I've really now just got to concentrate onto hooking onto the back of 1st and 2nd place here. See if I can slip into their slipstream. I am on the fast car, and you can see that they've both picked up penalties through the first section of this lap as they serve it, and I am now gaining really fast on these cars. I'm now in the slipstream for really the first time since the first lap, or second lap maybe. And it's my focus now just to stay where I am, continue catching these guys and have them tow me along, because they are quick. You can just see I'm just way too anxious, and that's literally blown that idea out of the park. That was my chance to really hook in. I mean, I could be another 2 seconds up the track here, and more importantly, putting more time between myself and air down. So, I mean, it's back to racing on my own, and just seeing if I can at least gain time on the cars behind me. And if you look at the delta up on the left hand side there, you can see that I am 7.4 seconds ahead of fourth place, and I believe a pit stop will cost me about 12 to 13 seconds on this track. It's just an estimate, but we'll have to see how that pans out. But I am closing on the cars in first and second place. Not quite as fast as I want to be, however. At the current wear rate of the mediums, I'm guessing perhaps our tyres have evened up. They are on hard tyres, very fresh hard tyres, and I'm on slightly worn medium tyres. So perhaps the tyres are maybe on even par. But yeah, they're definitely pulling away now, particularly on the straights, and that's just the raw power of the GTR. I'm not ready for tyres yet. I will stay out on lap 6. I'll stick to the current strategy as we blow past the pit lane. We've now got an 8.4 second lead on fourth place. So we are definitely gaining on him, and we've just got to put together a really great lap here, and it's looking very likely at the moment, as long as we keep it all together, that we could potentially leave pit lane ahead of any other car except for obviously the first and second place. As we just get ready to come down the back straight for the second last time. Yeah, really important not to stuff that up. Skip ahead, we skip that whole back straight, and we are continually building a lead on the fourth place car. I believe he is in an Aston Martin or an Alfa Romeo, one of the two. But we are closing on the cars in first and second. It's a 4 second lead now, so we have taken a little bit off. But unfortunately we have to pit, we have to use the hard tyres, otherwise I'd just stay on this. Fuel wise, this track, we could do the entire race on the one tank of fuel, no questions, no problems at all. So we're not going to need fuel at all, so that won't slow us down. as we just get ready to make a pit. And you can see here I just make a slight mistake. I thought the pit lane was a little further up the track than it was, so I just backed off a little, as we've got to come right down into first. So we probably lost about a second there as we slip onto our hards. Waiting. Sorry boys, we are coming. As the BMW boys get to work, new tyres, thank you. It is a great car. I feel so comfortable driving this car. I've put so many kilometres on it now, or miles, depending which country you come from. As we do, okay, so we re-enter the race in third place, aired down in the Nissan GTR. He almost had us. He almost had us on that first corner, but we managed to stay ahead. But this GTR is just an absolute beast. And another thing, I've also got to get used to running on these hard tyres. But he's just so close. And we're going to see the power of this GTR right now. It is just an absolute beast on these straights. And we might as well be standing still. I'll give him a little nudge on the way through just to let him know that he's not alone, but I mean, we're in his tow and we are literally clapped out. We can't get any faster than that, but that is a bad entrance into the first chicane, and as a result we're just going to lose that track time. We're still in his slipstream as we have a Mercedes behind us now. But even in the GTR slipstream, and he obviously got the exit, but we're just no match for this car. We're barely hanging on as he's just powering through. We need a good exit out of there, which we don't really get, to be honest with you. And we now have the Mercedes behind us bearing down, as the GTR has just burned us. But in all honesty, it hasn't been a great lap from me. You can see I run deep there. So this is really not the sort of performance that we need if we're going to end up on the podium. The Mercedes behind us, he's now become our main opponent. As we stick to the line and he gives us a little nudge forward. It's quite surprising. I thought he would have taken us on the outside. If he had done that, he'd probably be in front of us, to be honest. And I'm just praying that I don't get a nudge from behind here. There's no dive bomb up the inside there, so great racing on his behalf. We've now really got to defend as we go a little bit wide again through there. And the GTR in front of us is, yeah, he's gone. The Mercedes, we stick to our line and we get another nudge. And it's really just a game of chicken into that corner there. Who's going to get on the brakes later? And I guess I won that tiny battle, as we did brake really late coming into that corner. And it's now just a matter of keeping it together as we come down into the two final chicanes for the last time. And it's looking as if we're going to finish in fourth place, which is where we qualified. I do feel it could have been different if we didn't get punted by that bloody STI boy. I feel like third place would definitely be almost a certainty, as we finished 26 seconds behind the lead. We probably lost maybe 10 seconds as a result of that nudge. So anyway, 4th place in the manufacturers series, you know, it's not bad. This is a B class race. I'm well and truly into the B zone now, just kind of grinding it out to the A class. I think I will get there though, which is good, definitely improving. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you got this far, you must have enjoyed it, so that's great. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.